What is going on, everyone? Armlock311. In the background, I have some Unbroken gameplay. I go 17-0, also mercy this team, so go ahead and enjoy that. But in this video, I want to ask the question, with all these new content updates coming within the next year, will there be a raid in this upcoming update, which is probably going to be in April. Now, in case you missed the update from yesterday, Bungie has announced that there will be a content update in the spring of this year, probably in April, and I think it's going to be free because they're titling it an update, but don't quote me on that. Also, they will have a big expansion later in 2016. I'm guessing this is going to come in September, which will kick off year 3 of Destiny, and then Destiny 2 will be released in 2017, which will be a full sequel to the game. Now, with this update coming in the spring, Bungie has said that there will be a significant light increase, which means there has to be some type of in-game content, right? So a raid, we're getting a raid. I don't know, and Bungie hasn't announced it, but I'm just going to speculate here whether we will be getting a raid here shortly in the spring, in the spring update coming soon. Now, the problem with thinking that there's going to be a raid is that we know Destiny 2 has to drop with a raid, and that'll be in 2017. And then this big expansion coming later this year has to have a raid. I don't think that they could sell a big expansion without a raid. Doesn't necessarily have to be as big and as long as the Oryx raid, but it has to have a raid in order for them to sell an expansion. And now, with 2 raids coming in the future, will this update, which is probably going to be free, have a raid? And so you could say yes, Bungie's had 6 months since the last PvE update. They've had plenty of time to make a raid, and then after the spring update, they'll have another 6 or so months to make another raid for the expansion, and then they'll have time to make another raid for the 2017 Destiny 2 update. And then you could also argue Bungie is not going to hand out free raids with just a content update. They're gonna make you pay for it, and they should, because those raids take a lot of time, a lot of man hours, a lot of money to make and develop, and I don't know if a free raid would be any good. And so I would rather pay for a good raid than get a really crappy free raid. But back to where we started, this new update coming in the spring, there has to be some type of in-game content. You cannot have a light level increase with no in-game content. You have to have that content in order to reach the max light level. Because, can you imagine, like, if there's no in-game content, you just keep running strikes and buying gear from vendors until you reach max light? That's lame. No one wants to do that. You have to have the in-game content in order for there to be something to work towards, to achieve. Now, if they're not going to have a raid in this update, one thing they could do is update all the current raids to the new max light level. And I think that would be really cool to be able to say the new max light level is 360. There would be a 360 Vault of Glass, 360 Crota, 360 Prison of Elders, and a 360 Oryx raid. That would be a lot of fun. The reason I don't think this will happen is because Bungie doesn't want the year 1 weapons being upgraded to year 2. So if you could do a updated Vault of Glass and get a new Fatebringer, I don't think Bungie wants that. I think they want to keep those weapons that they deemed overpowered in year 1. And plus, then you could get elemental primaries, and Bungie has made it clear they do not want elemental primaries in the game going forward. Something I disagree with, but I'm not making the game. That's Bungie's call. And so I don't think that they're going to update those old raids because they don't want us to get updated light level weapons from year 1. Now, another thing they could do is have something in the realm of Prison of Elders, which I really hope they don't do, because Prison of Elders, I hated it. To be quite frank, it sucked, hated it. I don't like horde mode activities. If that's your thing, more power to you, but for me personally, I didn't like it. And so if they have that type of in-game content in this new update, I'm going to be disappointed. But I mean, if it does end up being free, then you can't really get too mad because it's free. And so, at the end of all of this logical thought and conclusion, I still have no idea if they're going to have a raid or not come this spring when they bring this new update. I just hope that the update comes like in April, because I got Doom coming out in May, and when Doom comes out, I'll be grinding that real hard. I'm playing tons of Doom. So I just hope I can get through all this Destiny content and have it covered on my channel before Doom comes out. But I am glad that we do have a roadmap. We do know what's happening in the world of Destiny. We know that we have expansions coming. We know we have another game coming next year. I think Bungie's gonna just do everything they can to make this the best content ever. And if the expansion at the end of this year isn't that great and Destiny 2 isn't that great, I think Destiny is probably gonna be done for. I mean, they really gotta come out swinging and impress people, or I think the game is probably gonna die. Because right now, there's not a lot of content. It's dry, it's not dead yet, but if these upcoming expansions and the new game, like if they don't fix all their previous mistakes from Destiny 1 and these expansions, I don't see Destiny lasting for the full 10 years. Those are my thoughts on whether or not we're going to have a new raid coming up. It has to be some type of endgame content. Hopefully it's a raid. I've been Armlock311. Please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Did I miss something? Is there something or a reason you think there will or will not be a raid come this spring? And peace.